two, one, go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Only One Truth. Only One Truth. My name is Raheem Ajami, and we have with us who we got with us. What's this young lady name right there in the middle? What's your name, young lady?
Sharon Gaylord.
Good deal. And the young lady to your left, what's your name, young lady? To her left,
Pandora L. Johnson.
you got the L in there. What L stand for?
Lanisa.
Okay. Got the little abbreviated little dot on the end of the L. Got the little nice little dot right there on the end of the L. Okay, I got you. Listen, we got a conversation we're gonna have tonight, and this conversation is a little different. It's a little different, and so I'm definitely wanting to have you all's input on this. And we're talking about, have you ever? Let me preface it by doing this. Have you ever been around somebody and you walk into a room and you're just feeling so good? You're feeling so good. You on a high. You're on a high, and you walk into the room and you get into the company of this person, this one person. They come sit beside you and they talk to you. And 5 minutes into the conversation, you feel your whole mood has changed. You feel drained. You feel like they just poured and sucked all the energy out of you. Our topic today is you drain my spirit. You drain my spirit. So Shannon, I'm gonna come to you first, and how do you deal with a situation like that? And when somebody drains your spirit, how do you deal with it? How do you interact with them, or do you interact with them?
Well, I know some people that are like that, right? And that will totally take your high down to a low.
Mm-hmm.
Form, let them get it off their chest. And I try to talk to them and try. Sometimes, you have to confidence in. Sometimes you just have to learn to know when to walk away. But it's very hard, especially when it's somebody that's near and dear to you. You
Mm-hmm.
have to listen to them and let them know that, hey, you're not in this situation by yourself. Pretty much, is there anything I can do to help you? And then let it go from there.
Mm-hmm. Pandora, what do you say to that? When you walk into this room and you walk in a high, you walk in feeling good. You're in a good mood, and you want to keep yourself in that place. But then you get into this person, and they start telling you all this negativity, and they just talking to you, and all this negative is poured on you, and you find yourself drained. And you within yourself, you say, you know what? You just drained my spirit. You drained my spirit. How do you deal with that?
um, well, I think it's a couple of different ways. In the scenario you're talking about, and I'm just like coming into the room, and it's the first time this person is being around me like this. I would basically do the same thing Sharon was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Try to figure out what's going on. Why are you like this? I mean, what can I do to help? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there has to be some reason why behind the negativity and the way this person is thinking all the time. It can't just be because they woke up like that every
Mm-hmm.
single day or something like that. So in that situation, I would talk to them and try to figure out what's going on. Is this just a one-time deal? Did somebody do something to you? Can I help
Mm-hmm.
you? Um, and just try to be helpful and talk them down out of it. Because I mean, that can be a very draining situation.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And what if just what if this person is the same way every time you're in a company? Every time you go around them, you feel as though man, I don't even want to come over here because, or you see them coming and your spirit get vexed because you see them coming because you know they're coming with a lot of negativity. You know they're gonna nothing is never right. Woe is me type attitude. And Pandora, that's something you don't want that around you all the time.
No, you don't. And I work with a person that is like that. Every time one of those people that somebody walked past, they didn't speak to me. So it got to the point to where I would say, well, did you speak to them? Every
Mm-hmm.
time she says something to me, I throw it back on her. You
Mm-hmm.
know, every time when that person didn't speak to me, it's some people around here. Well, did you reach out to them? What
Mm-hmm.
are you doing that you want them to do? Because you're telling me what they're not doing to you, but what are you not doing to them?
Mm-hmm.
You walk around, and I finally just told her, you walk around here every day looking mean and evil. Because
Mm-hmm.
with those type of people that's like that every day, And Sharon can tell you, I'm very outspoken. If you haven't realized that by now.
Yeah.
If you're like that every day and every time I see you, your spirit is like that, then I'm going to let you know you're bringing me down, because I'm one of those people. I work out every day. And when I work out, I come into work or I come into a place and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like happy, and I'm, happy go lucky all the time. So I'm like, if you're bringing me down, I'm going to let you know. We need, there's something going on with you. Have you thought about yourself? Because sometimes those type of people, they blame everything on other people.
Yes.
Absolutely. Get the words out of my mouth.
And see, and that's the part right there. That's the part, because you go to them and you say, it can start so simple. Sharon. It can be like, hey, how you doing today? Well, my corn's hurt, and people talking about coming and get my car, and because I missed a few payments and everything. They talking about coming to get my car. It was just so cold in my house last night. I don't know. What is really going on? Because it can start so simple. You say, how you doing? It's a simple question. It's a question you ask, how you doing? And from that, and you ask it from a good place. How you doing? Hey, man, how you doing today? Man, I ain't doing too good, man. I tell you, I just ain't doing too good. Oh Lord, here we go. And then it becomes a spiral. It drops and goes down from that point until it's like you Superman, and then here come that kryptonite with all this negativity. Go ahead and talk to me.
I mean, I told you. I mean, when me and you was talking about this, I told you, there are certain people that when they get to that point, I don't even answer the phone, because I know that they're gonna take my spirit away. They're gonna make me feel sad, drain me, make me feel like I'm depressed, and I'm not even the one that's going through it. No matter what's going on in their life, they can't see the sun for the rain. No matter what you say, how you do it. And there just comes a point in the time that, at some point they gotta want to live and want a better life for themselves, because you can keep telling them how to do it, but they're gonna have to want to do it. Until they want to do it, they're gonna be in the same rut. But I don't want to be in that rut with them.
Now, exactly. Now, Pandora, do you think that some people just love being miserable?
I think they do. I was sitting here when you start talking about what the topic was going to be. I was sitting here thinking, do I know any people like that? And then people start popping in my mind. There's a lady, I bowl a lot, and I bowl in a traveling league. And there's a lady that I bowl with that no matter what, it's just like you said, when you say, how you doing? There's always, well, oh my God, my back is hurting. Well, Billy did this, or, his back is down. And then the one time I asked her right before we went on COVID, we had a bowling thing. And I said, hey, how you doing? Well, my mom just died. And I'm like, but it's never, I'm doing good. It's never, everything's great, or I'm okay. It's always an issue. And even, I never forget, one time we threw, this one lady's boyfriend called ahead to Akron and said, hey, I want to throw my girlfriend a little birthday party because we're bowling on her birthday. He sent us money to get the stuff that he wanted. We got it. And the lady was like, well, my birthday was 2 weeks ago. Okay, but it's not today. It's always, and it reminds me of something I seen on Facebook the other day saying, I'm never, I don't try to outshine anybody. I want everybody else to win. She is definitely not one of those people. If you do something nice for somebody, she want to know, why didn't you do it for her? And it's those people, like you said, it's draining, because I think they just want to be miserable. They pension, but they're not realizing, I think, that all this negativity and all these bad spirits that they bring in is making everybody not want to pay any attention to them. Like Sharon said, she don't even want to answer her phone.
Yeah. And see, and that's bad, but it's almost like, Sharon, it's almost like they don't know. But it got to be a piece or a part of them that knows that, hold on, man, everywhere you go, and every how you doing today? How you doing today? Well, my cat just died, and and I had that cat for 10 years, and me and that cat had a bond together, and my cat just died, and I'm trying to figure out whether I'm gonna get my cat a funeral over. Okay. How you doing? You know,
It's never anything good.
Did you wake up? And you
exactly.
know, sometimes I tell people when they start saying that stuff, I say, but you know what? You woke up today
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and you're able to tell me this story. Talk to you later.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's the thing right there, Sharon. Sometimes you really have to, and you don't want to do this. You know, if somebody going through something, you want to be able to help them as much as you can. But sometimes, you know, some people you just can't help.
That's
Some people
true.
you just can't help, even though your spirit could be in helping them. They could be that kryptonite to you.
Yep, that's
And
true.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I do agree with that. Some people just don't, even though they realize it. And then sometimes I wonder, because they have done it so long, do they not realize that they're doing it? Or
Mm-hmm.
do they think that by doing this, you're gonna have more sympathy and stuff for them? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, after a while, the sympathy part goes off because you are totally exhausted. I
Yeah.
know with this one friend of mine, I'd be totally exhausted when after I get off the phone, or either I go to dinner or whatever. I'm completely exhausted. And within a few minutes, within 5 minutes, it's like, oh my God, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta change the subject, and it doesn't matter because it still goes back. It's always I. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
you don't want to get out
Mm-hmm.
of that. So what do you do?
Wow. Wow. And that's a big part of it right there. And that's a very good question. What do you do? Because in some situations, some instances, there's nothing you could do. Hey, Tiva, how you doing this evening? Like, I think you're frozen over there, sis. I think you're a little bit frozen. Might need to go out and come back in. 'Cause I think you're frozen over there. Um, but we're gonna keep this thing going. Now, Pandora. What if it's this is a totally different. What if it's a family member and you
You
and you
know,
think go ahead. No, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
um, I mean, even if it's a family member, I mean, it's still the same reaction for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if what is going on, or what are you not doing, or what do you want? Basically, what is it that you're looking for to try to get out of this rut? You know, or I mean, and if it's a family member, then you know whether they've been like that all day life and they just always gonna be like that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing I mean, you know, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still even more so, what are you looking for and what are you doing to combat
Mm-hmm.
this negative attitude that you're putting on everybody else? You know, what is it? I mean, right now, I understand a lot of people probably do have them from being locked up in the house for a
Mm-hmm.
whole year and they're scared to get out. But there's still other things you can do to make yourself happy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and not portray and not put your negative energy on everybody else.
And see, that takes us back to what we were a few minutes ago, Sharon. Some people just don't want to be happy though. And
No,
and
they don't.
and the saying that they say misery love company. And so if misery love company, they say you walking. I'm gonna tell you, I worked. I had a little part time job here a couple of years ago at one of the auto part places, and I was one of the assistant managers over there. And the lady, it was a young lady. She was actually the manager of the store, and she never liked me. I went from like 4 or 5 different stores. Cause when they first bring you in, they move you to a lot of different stores, so you can have different experiences with different types of people. So they did that with me as well. And I got back to my main store where I was supposed to be working, and I stayed there. And me and the guy that was the manager of that particular location, we was real close. We're still close even to the day. We're still close. And he told me one day, he said, "Look here, man. How did you and Blase Blah get along? I'm not gonna call the name." And I said, "Man, we really didn't too much, man. It was just it was kind of awkward." He said, "You know, she didn't like you." I said, "Huh?" He said, she didn't like you." And I'm not. I'm like, man, and me and him talk back and forth. I said, "Well, what is it?" He said, "Man," he said, "I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody," he said, "Raheem, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If anybody come to me and say they don't like you, Raheem, I'm gonna question them." Because you're a good guy, you get along with everybody. But this lady, for whatever reason, she didn't like me. So I asked him the question. I said, "Man, what is it? Why didn't she like me?" He said, "Because I'm gonna tell you why." And he laughed. And his name is Tony. I hope you don't mind me calling his name. Tony laughed, and he said, "You want to tell you why?" He said, "Because of the fact that she said in the meeting, go to have a managers meeting every Monday or Tuesday early in the morning." He said she didn't like you because you always came in the store and you was always happy. You was always walking in the door. You was always singing, and you was always. She said nobody could be that happy.
Because she was miserable.
I had
Yeah.
somebody tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody tell me that. They told me, they said, they asked another coworker that has known me for a long time and said, is she always like that? And
Mm-hmm.
the one girl said, yeah, until you piss her off. But typically she's happy like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say because everybody else likes you, because negative people will do that too. Share, won't
Yeah.
they? They'll do
Mm-hmm.
that too because everybody else likes you and everybody else is enjoying your company and having a good time with you, be it at work, at play, at church.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to like you because they're going to try to find something wrong with you
Mm-hmm.
to spread it out like cancer to say,
Mm-hmm.
nope, but did y'all know this?
Mm-hmm. Now, see, my thing is, how miserable do a person have to be to do something like that, though? How
You would be
miserable do you have to
surprised.
be to try to look into my life and try to find something that's going to bring me down around every? How miserable do you have to be?
You would be surprised, Raheem. People don't. I mean, people, because they're miserable, like you said, misery likes company, and because they're miserable, they're gonna always try to find the bad out of the good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't, because they're that way, so they expect everybody else to be that way, and it's not
Mhm.
like that. You know, so sometimes with them miserable people, you know, you wish you can fire them or whatever, or stay away from them, family wise. But you know what? You have to choose your battles, and
Mm-hmm.
because they're miserable, they're gonna always find something wrong with you, and they're gonna try to pick you to get you to try to do something to get you out of their life or make people think something different about you. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be the bigger man and continue to be who you are and let them be a fool while they're trying because everybody knows the good in you. So
Mm-hmm.
then they will start looking at her, knowing that okay, so why does she always feel like this? No one else feels like that. So it'll be her
Mm-hmm.
character that comes into play, not yours.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that blew my mind when he told me, and what happened was we was doing inventory about a month later, a month and a half later, we was doing inventory in our store, and you have to get there early in the morning to do the inventory. They go from like 5 in the morning until sometime 12, and they have all the store managers come, and the people that work in that particular store come as well. And so I was there, and Tony, he said, "Hey, Raheem, come here." I said, "Yeah, what's going on, man?" He said, "Come here." And I went up there. He said, "Hey, that your girl, man." I said, "Oh man." I said, "Stop that, man." He said, "No, no, 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 no." He said, "We're gonna piss her off today." And
That's always so much fun.
Sounds
I
like
was like,
King Pandora.
yeah. I was like, Tony. I said, what? I said, "What you talking about, man?" He said, "Man, we're gonna piss her off today, man." He said, "She don't like you because you're happy and because y'all." He said, "I want you to sing the whole day, man." He said, "Just sing." He said, "As a matter of fact, when you walk away, I want you to start singing." And I said, "Nah, man, I'm not gonna do that." So I went, walked away from the dude, and that dude, he yelled. He said, "Raheem." I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Sing." and I looked at him, man. We both started laughing. I just started singing, and you could see her. It's like she went into a hole or something, man. Just because of the
Mhm.
fact that she didn't like the fact that I was happy and that I was always joyous and I was singing all the time. She didn't like that. Rico, what's going on, man? How you doing I was gonna say this morning, this evening.
Man, how y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing, ladies?
Rico, how you doing?
I can't complain. I can't complain at all.
Rico, we got a topic today we're talking about, man. And the topic is "You Drain My Spirit." And what we're talking about, man, is how you could get in contact. You could be in a good mood, a real good mood, man. You could go somewhere and somebody could come in, and you're in a good mood, you're in a good place, and they get to complaining and talking about this and talking about that, and before you know it, man, you so drained, all your good energy, all your good vibes is gone, man. You walk away like I say, like you Superman. You just came into contact with kryptonite because all your good energy is gone.
Uh,
Rico, how do you deal with it? You laughing, brother. How do you deal with a situation like that? Do you know anybody like that?
yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, I might come off like that sometimes. I might come off like that sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know something like that, and I ain't gonna even lie to you. I like I wear my expressions on my face, man. It's like my heart is on my sleeve, so I can't hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I'm about like my grandma. I put up with it for a little while. I'll try to, go along with it. Then after a while, it's like I just tune them out. And
Mm-hmm.
you can tell that I'm tuning them out. And then I might try to respond, get back in the conversation, change it up a little bit. But then when they keep going, man, finally I'll just start doing this number right here. I'll do it. I'll put my head down. If I put my head down, you're about to hear it. I'm about to let you know what's going on. You better take a hint, man. It's only so many times. Like You know, so many times I can let you talk, and I just sit there and look at here like you ain't even in the room. I ain't listening to this no more. So, yeah, if I put my hand in my head, man, my head in my hand.
It's about to be something.
In the truth, yeah, you about to get it. You about to get it.
Exactly. And see, and that's the thing right there, man. But some people, and we were saying earlier as well, that some people just love being miserable, man. They don't care, you know. That's what they want to live. And you know, you can say what you want to say, Enrico. You could cuss them out and call them all kind of everything, but they gonna walk away. I don't know what's on his mind. I don't know what's wrong with him. You what's wrong with him, man? You don't come here, put all this negative stuff. Now, this man didn't come here for this, and Sharon, and that's just what they do. That's just who they are.
Back me up as the ones that you see, and then the first thing they do is start rattling off how many times they don't been in the hospital since the last time they seen you, and how bad. Well, you know, I got a cousin like that, man. I bumped into her. I know I hadn't seen her in 25 years. And she went to limping around, and she did the little stomach. Oh, I was like, "You all right?" She's like, "Yeah, you know, I had that surgery a couple years ago." I'm like, "Man, I ain't talked to you in 20 years. What you mean? I know you had a surgery." So you know, it's like every time you go around, she start talking about her illnesses and the last operation she had and how the doctors did some malpractice. I'm like, man, I believe this over here just like to be sick. Sometimes she ain't sick, but in church, she'll really let it out. She gonna get up there and give her testimony. She had a backiotomy. She don't call it backiotomy, but y'all know how that go.
I do.
I guess we done lost Raheem for a second. We got to keep it going, y'all.
We were talking about that before you got on, Rico.
Say what now?
We was talking about that, how there's people that all you do is you just walk by them and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they say, "Oh, my back hurt, or this hurt, oh, that hurt." I told them, I said, the one time I asked one of my bowling friends, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, just because I had just seen him. "Oh, my mom just died." I said, "Oh, she just died?" "Well, that was a month ago," but I'm like, okay. I mean, not to diminish that. That's a very traumatic experience. But the only thing I said was, "How are you doing?" You know.
But they got to catch up on all the bad and the good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of times there's no good. It's all bad. It's always something's always wrong. Nothing is ever going right. And no matter how you try to turn it around, it's still going to go left. It will never go right.
Yep. Yeah, I think
welcome back.
They sort of suffering from a lack of attention, lack of
absolutely.
That's what we said. That's what we said. They want so much attention that they're trying to draw it to them, and every time they tell us something negative and they're giving us that energy, we run away.
Exactly.
So I think Raheem heard me say this plenty of time before. I think they need to redefine ADHD, because a lot of people think ADHD is just having a lack of focus, not being able to pay attention. But to me, a lot of people lack receiving attention, and you could tell, because I've met people that just lie for no reason. And their first opportunity, they find a lie and exaggerate a story. And you're like, man, wait a minute. I did not ask for that. You volunteered that lie to me for nothing. I know there's something going on in there, but if I know you lying and you just volunteered that lie, I'm like, you know what? You looking for attention. You need to do up with your life or something, you know.
Walking around with diabetes.
And you know, you a diagnosed, give it a name and everything. Lord, what you call it? Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Okay, I got you. Tiva, good evening, sister. How you doing this evening? Unmute yourself, sister. You muted. Unmute yourself. Gotta unmute. There you go. Oh, you muted again.
There you go.
Nope. Hold on for a minute. Let me see something. I might be able to do it.
You know what? It's acting up. Everything is acting up today for whatever reason. It's getting on my nerves. I've been trying to log on for a few minutes here.
Yeah, I saw you coming in, and we tried to pull you in a couple of times, but But what we're talking about today, and good to have you, sister. What we're talking about today is people that drain your spirit. You drain my spirit. Is what it is. And you go around people, and you're in a good mood. You feeling so happy. You're just in a good mood. and you get around these people, and Pandora say they get into that diabetes or whatever. And you ask them how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And from that, they get to tell you all these different stories, all these different scenarios that they're going through and drain your energy. And it's like kryptonite Superman. You walk away drained. You walk in good, feeling good, but being in this person's company, drained.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? Or even do you know anybody that's like that?
Yes, I do. And usually, I would just listen to them if they have a lot that they want to get off their chest. Sometimes people just want you just to listen to them. So I'll listen. And yes, it gets draining sometimes, it kind of wears on your nerves, but I'll try to redirect the conversation, or talk about something different. And if they keep getting back on that subject, then I'll let them talk. And then I'll start asking them questions. Well, why do you feel that way? Or what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? I try to get to the root cause of it so that they can look at themselves and see that they're being a Debbie Downer or what have you, So yeah, basically I just listen to them, and most of the time I'll tune them out if it's too much for me. I know how to tune it out, and then every now and then come back in and say, oh yeah, so, but mostly I try not to put myself in that situation because I don't like my spirit being drained for nobody. You know what I mean?
I know a good way to say, oh man, I just forgot. I got to go ahead and do something. Oh my God, I don't have to work. I talk to you. I got to get away with you. I'll talk to you later. Mandora, why you laughing?
Because it sounds like something I would do. Only my daughter always tells me when I do that, it doesn't come out right because I don't lie well. So she always tells me that it doesn't come out right now. I get too detailed. She said, you just tell them you got something else to do and just go. She said, but you want to tell them who's going with you, how you doing it, and da, da, da. She said, so just don't lie about it. Just say, I'm leaving you. I said, okay.
See, and Sharon, sometimes you just got to come up with, they talking all this negative stuff. You come up with something positive. Breyers just came out with a brand new flavor ice cream. I just love me some Breyers. You like Breyers?
That don't work.
Anything. Huh?
Some people that don't work with them. I mean, you can give them all the positivity you want to give them. Some kind of way, they always seem to get it back to the negativity. At that point, that's when I just go ahead and, after a while, I can't take it no more. I just cut it off and say, hey, let me go. It was good seeing you. Talk to you later, and I leave.
Hey, Johnny, can you help me to my car? Because I'm drained right now, Johnny. I ain't got the strength to walk to my car, man. Can you help me to my car, man? Because it go ahead.
Hey, I'll make up an imaginary friend. I get crazy. Oh, you hear that? You just heard? Did you hear that? Somebody shooting? I'm gonna change the subject somehow. Let the TV be on, man. It might not even be nothing funny. Something doesn't happen. Somebody done got ran over something. Man, you see? I'm gonna just, hey, we finna get off of this. We gonna just somehow. You keep on. I'm gonna have to go outside and sneeze. I gotta sneeze right quick.
Exactly. Man, you drinking a glass of water. Man, this water here just ain't wet enough. Let me go ahead and get some of this other water. Go give me some of this wet water. Pandora, what's on your heart?
That's the wet water.
I need some wet water. This water here ain't wet. I need some wet water.
It just gets me that, and it's not just people to me that you work with or that you come in and encounter, your family members or that you see. It's the people on Facebook also. I mean, I enjoy Facebook, especially, just to post funny things on there. I post a good morning post every morning. And I had one of my, I work for a trucking company, and one of the carriers, we were talking today, her and I became good friends. And so she was telling me, she said, I didn't like your post this morning. You got to do something better tomorrow. Like that. But she was saying that as to say, she likes my sarcasm when I post. But some of the people that's on Facebook, no matter what you post, I remember I posted one time and I said, I got one more bad decision left and then I'll own the whole box. And one of my bowling friends said, oh no, you make good decisions, girl, don't worry about that. And I'm thinking, I said, now you know me. And I called her, I said, now you know me. I said, I'm not a downer. And then she started actually posting on the post talking about other people that make bad decisions. And she's one
Wow.
of those people that I was talking about. She
Mhm.
was trying to do it to lift me up, but she was down on everybody else. And I was like, okay, you do realize I only post for fun. I'm like,
Mhm.
you've known me for 10 years now. Have you ever seen me being negative, upset about something? She said, no, that's why I didn't understand your post. I post for fun. But you
Mhm.
also have those people on Facebook. And I love the way this one post goes. Everybody think their post is about them. You know, you
Mhm.
think my post is about you, then what are you doing? So
Mhm.
we're talking about people that, you know, that we come in encounter with, even people that we don't technically know on Facebook. They do
Yeah.
the same thing. They jump on it and then it's just pure negativity, like for the whole post. I took a post down before because of that. And
Mm.
everybody, and one friend of mine called me. She said, what did you do with that post? She said, I was telling my mom to go look at it because it was funny. I said, I had to take it down. I said, this one lady got a hold of it and she just got so negative on it. It just drove me nuts. She
Mm.
said, oh my goodness. She said, don't they know you post for fun? I said, I guess not. It's not my situation.
Exactly. And see, and that's where a lot of people go. And it's amazing. I'm gonna tell you something. This online situation. One thing that gets me about online, you got a lot of gangsters online behind that keyboard. Behind that keyboard, they gangsters, man. They straight gangster, boy. They I'm a
Gangsters.
gangster. They man, look here. They will tear you. They thug to the heart. They'll tear you up, beat you down
Mhm.
until they see you in person. And then somebody got to go pull them away from up under the couch because they over there hiding from you. Tiba, what do you say to that? I ain't even gonna go to Rico right now because he laughing too hard. Tiba, unmute yourself, sis. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Tiba, can't hear you.
This is sorry, y'all. This is really tripping. But yeah, I'll be ready for it on Facebook. But most of the time I try to bring positivity myself on my page. There's a lot of positive vibes on there. Healthy eating, healthy living, taking care of your mindset. Your happiness comes first. And my motto is if it aggravates you, frustrates your spirit, or antagonize your spirit in any way, dismiss them out of your atmosphere, out of your space. You have control over that. But if they bring like negativity and they want to come for me, be ready because I don't play. I don't play with nobody. But I will love you and I will make you laugh.
Now, Tiba, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? But we ain't going, huh?
Sound like you might be one of them thugs now. You sound like you have a thug
No,
in
I'm
you
not
now.
a thug. But people know me. Don't come for me because I don't play. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to,
You rubbing you
get
rolling
people
your neck.
to, look at things differently. You feel me?
Yeah,
Because
you
when you've
rolling
been
your
through
neck,
some
come
mess
for me and
yourself,
all that stuff.
huh?
You rolling your neck, talking
Wait,
about
what did
come
you
for
say?
me. Come on, you rolling your neck and come for me. Got your little gun signed up. I said, oh Lord, wait a minute now.
That's right. I don't
What's
start
really
none.
going on?
I don't start nothing. I don't start nothing, but I know how
But
to
you
finish
finish
it.
it,
Let's
don't
put
you?
it there.
You done finished it, Tiba?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be ready for it. Trust
Lord.
me. So
Look
yeah,
at
but most of the time I just try to stay positive. But that's how I like to live my life in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Because when you've been through a lot of things in your own life, and you know what it's like to be depressed, you know what it's like to be, down and out. You know these things. So when you see people coming with that, that's what makes me listen to them. Let me see where you at in your mind. Let me see where you at in your life, in your spirit, because maybe I can help you see it differently. And even after the conversation, if you still seeing it differently, then I'm going to tell you or try to advise you to go see a counselor or somebody, because whatever you have in you that's making you so negative, you got to get to the root cause of it. And once you get there, you can see things in a brighter way. You feel me? So that's how I look at life. I look at life just like that. It is what it is. What's up?
I heard you, thug. I heard you, thug. I heard you. Thugism. Thugism. Hey,
I'm not a
thug. No, see how she laughing. Can he hide it? Can he hide it?
Yeah, I ain't that, but don't bring it.
Hey, Sean, let me ask you this right here. What if you're going through something in your life and you go to somebody that you think is a friend and you say, I'm just throwing something crazy out there. My dog got sick and man, he really going through something. And you talking to this person, and then here they come. Well, last week my dog died. At least your dog still here.
But depending on the frame of mind I'm in, I'ma say,
Uh-oh. Oh,
And
no,
you
another thug,
listen.
another thug. Here they go. Boy, they showing up today, boy. Go ahead.
It all depends on the frame of mind I'm in, Raheem. I mean, if I'm trying to come to you and talk to you about something, you take the conversation over and you make it about you, then I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, I'm sorry, but I didn't come here to hear about you today. I came to talk to my friend, so I need to
Wow.
get this off my chest. So I need you to listen to me for a change. It's not about you today. Today it's about me. So can I have that moment? And if
Yeah.
I can't have that moment, then I'll be like, hey, I
Deuces.
can't talk to you right now. See you later. You know, talk to you later. And then I call Pandora.
You gonna call it? Look, you gonna call another thug? Oh Lord Jesus! You about to call another thug? Ain't no
I'll
telling
call
me.
Pandora or Jennifer because I know I can get it off my chest with either one of them. I'm
But
good. And if I'm
but see,
right, then they're gonna tell me I'm right. But one good thing about her is if I'm wrong, it'd be like with you. I just have to take and tuck it up and go because she gonna tell me.
Exactly, and that's what a friend does. That's what a
right.
friend does. And Pandora, what do you say to that, man? My dog is sick. Well, my dog died that way. I ain't hear you. You ain't come on here talk to me when my dog died. You know my dog died. Come on, man. What do you do, Pandora? What do you see?
Basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same thing Sharon said. I mean, you know, you basically know who you can call that you can talk to about something that's going on in your personal life. Even if the friend is typically, I have a girlfriend that always has drama. I don't care what she does, it's drama filled. But we've been friends since we were 14. So I know what I could talk to her about. And there is times I've had to say, oh, okay, yeah, okay, no problem. But now back to me, because this is why I called you. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let me get off my chest what I wanted to talk to you about because I need some guidance. I mean, think about it like this. I feel like this. I have not a lot of friends, but my closest ones, I know who I can tell certain things to and who I can go to for guidance from. You know, with Sharon, it's across the board.
Yeah.
Anything. You know, my best friend in Virginia, it's compartmented. You know what I mean? I can tell him some stuff. Other stuff is like, let me keep that away. And this other girl, because it's going to be negative. And this other girl that I'm talking about, it always goes back to her. And I have to say, okay, slow down. We're talking about me. It's about Pandora right now. Then we'll get to yours maybe tomorrow. Is it serious? You still got your job, right? Okay, you good. Let's talk about me. So it's like Sharon said, sometimes you got to bring them back around and say, no, we're talking about me right now. Let's just focus on this because I called you. You didn't call me with your problem.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother.
And it's a way to do that if you are the person that's that you have to be the one that's listening. So sometimes you might have to go back and refer to something you went through to let them know that you can relate. You know, but there's a limit to that. Because I've been around people, don't get me wrong, it gets to a point where sometimes I'm like, man, I get tired of listening to people's problems because when it's time for me to call on somebody, have somebody just to listen to me, go back and forth. Because sometimes when somebody listening to you, they got to ask some questions. They might give you another point of view. But if they give you a point of view, they just say, that's just like this time when just like this time when I might, do it tactfully, like they said, look, man, I get that. I remember when you told me about that. So now this is what my situation is. This is what's different with my situation. And after a while, they keep on going.
No, he froze.
Okay, I think we go. Yeah, he froze on us. Hopefully we'll get him back in just a second. Let me go to Tiva. And if you go to somebody, and you're angry. You're absolutely angry. And I'm asking a thug, yes, Lord Jesus. And you go to them and you want them to kind of calm you down, because sometimes there's certain people you could go to that gonna calm you down and speak some kind of a rational reason the situation out. But you go to them, you say, look at here, Rico, I'll come back to you, brother. You froze there. I'll come right back to you. But you go to them and you say, listen, this joker just did this and said this, blase, blase, blase. And no, I'm PO'd right now. And they go get their shotgun, they go get their gun and stuff. Look, we need to go bust a cap and blase, blase, blah. Now, is that a good situation? Is that a friend that you would want to confide in? Because an hour from now, both of y'all gonna be locked up.
I would have to say, yeah, because sometimes you need a friend that's gonna be
Lord.
down for the cause with you. You know what I'm saying? If you have to go and address something or someone, you're gonna need a friend that's ready to fight, ready to go step to anybody. I need those kind of friends in my life, and I do have some in my life. But then I have some other friends that just listen to me. They be like, well, no, you're doing too much. You're over the top. So I have some real friends. When I want to hear the truth, I talk to those friends. But when I'm mad and I want to do something, I need some riders. You know what I'm saying?
Ride and die.
So yeah, absolutely. You need both types of friends. One that's gonna talk some sense into you, and one that's ready to be down for the cause with you. You gotta have a balance.
You hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
You calling the police on her?
Did you hear that? I just want you to know. Did you hear
You
that?
know I'm telling the truth. You
That's
need
right.
some riders. You do. Because if you have weak, scary friends, I can't have weak, scary friends around me. I cannot. But then I gotta have some that.
Mine is right there. Mine is right there. I know what you mean.
On a plane.
I'm so
Mine is right
serious.
there.
Take a phone call on a plane.
We a phone call away.
I
Down
mean,
77.
Oh
tell
my
me-
goodness. But this is real talk.
Y'all telling the truth. You're telling the truth. You might need somebody to get that knee off your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
You know.
Okay. You need somebody can fight. They can, they got some backbone, they ain't scared, but you know what I'm saying? But then you got some that you go to, they give you that wisdom, give you that real talk, give you that real love. You need both.
We got to do a fundraiser because we got to come up with bail money. Got a few people that has run into a situation that we need everybody that has a good
get to it and get out. You don't sit there and wait for nobody to call the police.
Look at, we need people. We need to get. We need y'all to send us money that fold. We don't need a kind of jingle. We need to send. We need to get these people out of they locked up right now.
That's why we keep that good credit score so we can get that loan when we need it.
Right?
Hey.
We got to call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What in the world y'all got?
Donna Tucson, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
Donna, tell everybody where you're calling from. Tell everybody where you're calling from, brother.
Hey, you really want to know?
Yes, sir.
I'm from Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Pascagoula.
By way of Annapolis, Louisiana.
God told me, boy, them some names for you right there, boy. Them some names for you. But look here, what we're talking about tonight is you drain my spirit. You drain my spirit. Have you ever been around somebody that go around them in a good mood, but 5 minutes, been around in 5 minutes, they drain you, totally drain you, and you just exhausted. You just exhausted. Do you know of anybody like that? Have you ever been around somebody like that, Donald?
Hey, you ever had a person that's telling you the story that you already had with them before, and then they tell you the story, you're walking away from them, you walk back to them, and they say, by the way, this is what I was trying to say. Come on, man.
So you walked away for a reason.
Yeah, I had a guy at work. I had walked out the office, went see about what I was doing, walked back in the office, and he still was having the conversation by himself.
Good Lord.
So he just brought me back. He just brought me back in the conversation. He never shut up.
So basically,
but I just wanted to come in here, y'all. What you got going here? When you started this, man?
Oh, we've been doing this. Sean, how long we been doing this broadcast?
First Wednesday in January.
How long we been doing it?
Since January.
Since January, first Wednesday in January. Okay, that's what you said, Lord. It went over my head there for a second.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to drop in on y'all, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Definitely appreciate.
I don't get arrested.
Hey, look here, man. We got some thugs here today, boy. They talking about do it. Hey, ride or die, bro. Ride or die. Rico, what do you say about that, man? I heard you say earlier that sometimes you need somebody to get that knee off your neck, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah,
so
you got to have some soldiers, man. I mean, you think about it, the way the community used to operate. Time, especially in the Black community, it was necessary for people to come together and protect the children from outsiders. It was dangerous at one point. I mean, it's still dangerous now. Sometimes you got to use it's dangerous, you know, because you got to worry about your neighbors now. You know, I have to worry about your neighbors then, but not as much. Now you really need that. Say, for instance, Emmett Till situation. You know, it would be nice to have somebody that could have came together and prevented that type of situation from happening. Now, I don't want to say that you might want that for vengeance sake, but in case you do want some get back, you need some people that's gonna say, "Hey, man, let's go over here and handle this business. Let's go take care of this situation that happened with this child or whatever." Because we can't do it all alone. So you got to have those people that you depend on, just like you have to have those ride or dies that you can call on to talk to. That's gonna keep it on with you and hold you accountable. Let you know when you are wrong, when you're going too far, what the consequences are behind the actions that you might want to do, how logical it is. You know, you got those few people that you can depend on like that. You better have some.
Yeah, exactly. Now, who do you have? Do you have that friend in your life? Do you have that friend in your life? If you got the gun in your hand, you about to walk out the door. You're angry to the point where, you know, you walk out the door with that gun, you're going to use it. That's just point blank. You ain't gonna go out there with that gun and not use it. Do you have that friend that can meet you at that door, at your front door, and talk the gun out of your hand? Do you have that friend? If not, how important? Yeah. Go ahead.
I do. I just, you know, one story I could tell you. I was on my way to go down the hill to go fight somebody. I was so mad. I was like, we're going down, and I had a friend that was going to go down there with me. She was like, let's go down there and handle this. You know, I'm not going to tell you the whole situation around it while I was going down there. But long story short, I did call somebody, and I told them I was going to go down there. And they did
I say basically you're not gonna tell the whole story because the statute of limitation ain't up. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
And so anyway, I did call somebody and I said, "Girl, I'm getting ready to go down there to this person's place of residency and everything." And the person on the phone said, "I wouldn't do that if I was you." She talked me out of it, and she told me I wasn't gonna win if I go down there trying to fight over something stupid. So at that point, I was like, you know what? You're right. You know, and the way that she put it to me made me think twice about why I was going down there in the first place. And it was behind some dude, you know. It was behind some dude. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Oh Lord.
It was. And but that's in the past. That's way in the past. I don't fight over no dudes no more. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't want me, there's a door. What's up? You know. But at that time, yeah, I was hurt. I was mad. But I did have a rider that was going to go with me. But before I even got to go down there, someone talked me out of it and said I wasn't going to win. You know what I'm saying? Not because they would beat my behind, but the situation behind it, fighting over something. You know what I'm saying? So that's another story. That'd be a whole nother episode. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I do have those types of friends that would tell me I'm doing too much. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You need those type of people in your life that's going to tell you the truth.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
To you, you know?
Eva, will you stop talking?
I'm sorry, I'm talking when I get going.
Lord, GT, will you stop talking? I got a mute button.
I'm putting myself on mute.
Okay, look, I got a mute button. I'm trying not to use it over here, but good Lord. But Rico, she about to go to jail over Johnny. Pandora laughed so hard she done took herself off the screen. Lord, my Jesus. Look at I knew what she was doing. I knew it, man. I knew it. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. I knew what Pandora was doing.
It's good, like I said, it's good to have friends like that because sometimes you could be walking into a situation where somebody got something waiting on you.
Yeah.
They prepared and they itching. But you know, you was talking about how people like to be negative. Some negative people like to create negative situations, and they like them to be as negative as possible. You know, funny that it was the topic came up too, because the first thing I thought about when you said that was, I used to know people. Well, I ain't gonna say I used to know them. I know people at one point in time, they used to like to just go to funeral homes to view bodies.
Good Lord.
See if they knew the people. They obituary call. Did you see who that was in the obituary today?
Wow.
Well, I think that's such and such. I think it's such and such person. Then they'll go and look and see if who the relatives are. Oh, girl, I think that's who you want to go by there and see them. Yeah, let's ride by there. Well, Irvin got there. Such and such got the body. Here they go. They going by there to see if they know who that was. And I'm like, man, that got to be a depressing sight. I don't even want to call it depressing, but that's a dark place to be in, to want to always go and see who's dead or who died. An obituary first. But it's that kind of energy that does exist. They're not evil. They just somehow I don't want to
like sick and demented. Sick and demented. I'll say sick and demented.
Yes, it's an urge and a craving. It's a sick craving that they have. You know, I think some of them like to see people crying. They like people sad. Sometimes they like to cry. They like and being that they like that emotion. And I ain't gonna say they like it, but it's still a feeling that they got to have. You know, it's crazy, man. The human mind is something serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, what do you say to that, man? That's to me, that's a sick puppy right there that want to go to the obituary and then go to the funeral. Man, that's a sickness right there. What's on your
funeral chasers out there? I know this lady, well, she's dead now. But she used to be a funeral chaser, just like Rico said. You know, she would go to funeral homes and go to funerals, don't even know some of the people and still yet be doing it. And we used to ask all the time, why? She said, oh, I just do. I just, she could never give us a definitive answer as to why she did it. But she did it all the time. Her days off, she'd be funeral chasing, seeing if she knows somebody, always in the obituary looking for something. So, I just kind of like just backed off from her. I would hear about it and I just walked away. I thought it was crazy because I'm like, what is on your mind? Do you really not have anything else to do with your life than do that? And she didn't. Exactly. So that's what she did. That's what gave her peace. Sometimes the weirdest thing calms the souls of another beast. It might be weird to us, but it might be what some other people need for whatever reason to get them through whatever they're going through.
Do y'all remember? And Pandora, I'm coming to you next. But do y'all remember the lady in Good Times? I think she was on the Jeffersons too. Older lady. She used to always be at the funeral and crying at everybody's funeral.
Yeah, dark skin.
Yeah. And see that reminds me of that. She cried and sometimes they come to it. They say, "Well, you didn't even know them. What I know they did." What kind of sickness is that, Pandora?
I'm gonna tell you what's real funny about. I ain't gonna say funny, but was what I noticed about some of them. If they'll come back and give you a full report about how sad it was and who broke and cried and who had the food. Girl, they went this and that happened. They fell out. They showed out, man. There's a lot of folks love that boy. You be like, oh, y'all actually have a conversation about funeral's supposed to be sad. But that energy, some people really do like that energy. And some people like that attention. I mean, it's wild how they're
crashing the funeral.
Like they ain't even related to the people.
Exactly. The Facebook user, read that for me, Rico.
I knew a couple that wouldn't miss funerals. The wife was blind and always wanted a program.
I cannot with you people today. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm ready. I knew I wasn't gonna make it all the way through. That's why I told you to read it. I'm not gonna make it through that one, man. I'm not gonna laugh before I get finished.
Wow.
I am done.
When I looked, I said, man, I'm not gonna be able to read this all the way through without laughing. We can read that, man. Pandora, what's on your heart?
Go get the Pandora. What's up, Pandora?
No, I mean, I agree with everything. I mean, I do know some people that that go to funerals. I mean, they look in the paper or they're constantly looking on the obituary site to try to see who passed away and but it's I mean, people are just a different breed nowadays. I mean, we're in 2021 and we're almost in the middle of 2021. And people are just very different. I mean, you know, if they were like this before the pandemic, I just pray for them. I mean, there's nothing else you can do but pray for them, because they're going to be like this their whole life. Now, if they weren't like this until the pandemic, then I can understand a little bit what they're going through. Maybe they didn't have nobody at home. Maybe maybe they need to get out, you know, and they need to get them shots and get out so they can be around people and feel a little bit more comfortable. But people are really a different breed, and we always put it on the younger generation that's being a different breed. But from what we're talking about here, it's some people our age that's a different breed too, because if you're waking up every day with a negative heart, a negative spirit, that's a problem. That's a problem. You need to get help. And if y'all post this video today, what we're talking about, this podcast, people, if you wake up with a negative spirit every day, get help. It is not healthy. It's why you got the weight gain. It's why you're not winning. It's why you're not getting that job. It's why you don't have money in the bank. It's why your credit score is low. It's why you don't have a date. It's why everything is happening in your life. Get over it. Get out. Rise above it.
Sometimes people find themselves trapped in a situation where they feel as though they can't get out of it. And sad as it is, they feel as though they're trapped and they hold on to it longer than what they should. They just hold on to it. Tiva, what do you say to that?
I was just gonna say this, you know, people that are battling depression, a lot of times they are in denial. You know, I talk to some people, they sound all morbid, you know, oh, I don't like this life, F this life, you know, I'm sick of this life. And then they turn around the same breath and say, well, I'm not suicidal. You know what I'm saying? And then when you try to encourage them to get some help, you know, they feel like it's a stigma to it, or, you know, they're going to label me, you know, I don't need the medication. But a lot of times you don't really need the medication. You just need somebody to talk to so that you can get to the root of your issue, so that you can begin to see some changes in your life. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that. So I don't have a problem with going to see a counselor, honey, and talking my issues out so that I can get to life. Because depression will keep you in the bed. Depression will make you blow your mind, blow your brains out, and somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? Depression presents itself in so many ways. It might be through alcohol. You might do drugs, or you might be, you know, want to just have sex all the time so you can feel love and hope that feeling of sadness will leave you. You know, people express it in different ways. So I just gonna have to agree with Pandora on that one. If you suffering with depression or any type of issues in your life, seek help. Talk to somebody that you can trust, that's not gonna run your business from pillar to post. Because you got some of those people too that will listen to you and you pour out your heart, and then next thing you know, they on the phone telling your business. You know what I'm saying? Or talking about you. So you got to be very careful who you share your heart with. Because everybody don't have your best interest. They just want to know about you, want to know of you, especially if you got something going on in your life. A lot of times they ain't even your friend. They'll smile in your face and at the same time stabbing in your back, trying to steal whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful who you talk to. So I always tell people to go and see a counselor. You know, if you a Christian, go see a Christian counselor. But talk to somebody. Talk to grandmama. Grandmama ain't going to tell nobody. But pray for you. Hopefully, if you got that kind of grandmama, you know what I'm saying? So I got to agree with Pandora on that one.
Well, let me tell you something, baby. Sit on down here. Let me talk to you for a minute, baby.
Right?
Look like you're going through a little something right now, baby. Like you're struggling. Let me tell you something. Like you're struggling, Rico. God, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I wonder what is a cure to that. You know, to me, I know the easiest cure to that is happiness. Accomplishing goals, you know, like anything that makes you feel good. Really, if you can feel good more often, don't get me wrong, sometimes people feel good by seeing others down and in despair like them. Seeing people just like them, seeing people miserable just like them. So that makes you feel not alone. But if they only knew when they get depressed how easy they could come out of it if they just actually accomplish something positive. So you can get affirmation from people or get influence from people, but to actually achieve something, to like build something and then watch it at the end work. You know, it's like if you're looking in the mirror and you say you're not happy with yourself, but then you can push ups and sit ups and you start seeing a transformation in your body. That motivates you to keep going to be more positive. But some people, they lose hope, they get in despair. It's like all this relates to sadness, that negativity. It relates to sadness and despair and depression. All of that, it's in a one big family together, a whole bunch of cousins wrapped up together. And so for you to have to get to that other side of the family, you got to accomplish those positive goals.
And you know, Sharon, sometimes people are just so good at hiding and shielding their hurt and their pain. They're so good at hiding and shielding. You sit there and you'll talk to them and you think they're the happiest people in the world, but at the same time, when they get by themselves, when they have that alone time, that's when the misery comes out. And that's where you find out. You read in the paper, somebody come tell you, Lily just killed herself. But I just talked to Lily last week, and she was so happy. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Go ahead. What's on your heart?
Well, I can say that is so true, because I can tell you sometimes I'm that person that you spoke about. I can have so much going on in my life and no one would ever even know it was going on. And then it just came to a point to where I had to take it and go and talk to someone outside of my friends. Even they didn't know what was going on because I never even disclosed some of the stuff to them. But I seeked help so that I can get it. I went through a very dark time after I lost my mom and my best friend. And I needed someone else other than Pandora, even though she is one of my most favorite people. I needed somebody outside the realms of her, because I know that, truly, even though she wanted to understand, she couldn't understand. So I had to talk to a professional to get that help. And then eventually I dug myself out of that deep hole that I was in. But it took a lot of praying and a lot of me wanting to get there and me changing my life to look at things for me.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Pandora, we're good to get out of here. What's on your heart, sis?
I just think a lot of times, we've discussed a lot today. It went from negative energy to depression. But with the depression part and even the negative energy part, when you're talking about talking to another individual outside of your family and friends, I think it's pride. And I think it's ego. We don't feel like somebody else that don't know us can help us. But sometimes that's the person that can, because they don't know you. I mean, they don't know you. They don't know nothing about you. So they don't know what, what you're like. They're just listening to the story that you're telling them. And the key to that is you have to be honest with them. So you got to start being honest with yourself. You can't be honest with somebody else if you're not honest with yourself.
That's true.
So the key to me, I don't know, negative people, depression, it's just being honest with yourself, what you want, what you desire, what you feel like might make you happy. And sometimes what you think you want by talking to that individual that don't know you may not even be what you want. God gives you what you need, not what you want. And then after he gives you what you need, you're like, oh, okay, that's what I wanted.
Right.
Exactly. Man, this has been a good broadcast, man. I want to thank y'all. Anybody have anything in their closing? Everybody quiet right now. Rico, I know you can come, brother. What you got, brother? Talk to me. Come on, Rico.
I would just apologize for being late, man. I was looking forward to getting on here, and I missed about 20, 30 minutes of y'all.
Did you see me looking like this? Like, did you see me like that?
I'll make sure I'm with y'all next week on time, man. This time changing, the daylight being all out, man. I'm still confused a little bit.
There you go. But I just want to tell you, man. I didn't want to tell you on air, but since you brought it up, I'm gonna go ahead and say it to you. We docking your pay, right?
I ain't got the first check yet. I'm suing. National Labor Relations Board, EEOC, everybody. We got some business to take care of right here. I ain't know you were paying.
Look, I'm
volunteering.
I'm docking your pay, brother. I just want to let you know, I'm docking your pay, man.
He's docking the volunteer pay.
Yeah.
A couple of zeros will be missing off your check. A couple of zeros will be missing, brother. Just want to let you know.
Zeros from the zero.
Yeah.
Sharon, what's on your heart in your closing, sis? What's on your heart?
Basically, on them says everybody just, have a great week. Be true to yourself. Let your heart guide you in the direction in which you're gonna go, and don't let the negativity get in your way. Stand firm to what you believe in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else have anything? Pandora TV?
Yeah, I just want to say to the listeners out there, if you are battling depression, seek professional help. Also, I just want to put this in there too. Don't go jumping into no relationships either if you are dealing in depression, because you'll find yourself giving and doing just to, feel loved, or to try to, get yourself out of that, and you end up in a confused situation or something you should not be in. So take care of yourself mentally and physically before you try to jump into a relationship if you're battling depression is really heavy.
Good deal, Pandora.
Everybody have a wonderful week. I think it's been a good broadcast today. Glad we're back on. Can't wait to talk to you guys and see you guys next Wednesday. I'll just be coming back from Miami, so I will be tanned. But everybody have a wonderful week. Glad to see everybody healthy.
Good deal. Good
Thank
deal.
you. Love you guys.
Now, Pandora, you know what you got to do before we get out of here. Pray us out.
Heavenly Father, thank you for a wonderful broadcast. Thank you for the people that joined us today. Please pray for those that wasn't able to join us today, Wally. Thank you for the people that actually sent posts in that we were able to read, and that decided they didn't want to get on with us, but they wanted to join us. If we were able to touch somebody out there today, Lord, with what we were talking about, negative spirits, depression, please fill their hearts. Please show them the love that they need. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey,
I knew it.
Raheem,
Yes, sir.
Before you get started, man, because I know you're going to end the show, but I think y'all might be able to help dispel a rumor, a stereotype that they have about us. You just came back from Hawaii, and Pandora's getting ready to go to Miami. You say that we don't like to swim.
Yeah.
I just want to know, did you do a little surfing, and is she gonna do any surfing? Y'all gonna
I'm going straight to the beach.
In the water.
Oh no, I got 3. Hey, I'm gonna be there for 3 days. I got 3 swimming suits packed. That's it. Me and my sister gonna be on the beach.
Man,
I didn't even bring my workout clothes because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swim.
I see Raheem on the coast, and I see Raheem on the boat, but I didn't see his feet in the water. I just want to know if he was scared of that water.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. To me, the beach is the best place for me. And I can go to that beach. I go in that water, man, and that's my place of escape, bro. I go to that beach, absolutely, I get in that water. It's just peace. There's a peace there, man, at that ocean. Especially, I love the Pacific Ocean, man. But there's a peace on that ocean, man. There, I could go there and just escape everything, regardless of what's going. I could be in the worst mood in the world, and I go to that beach, man. I just walk in that water and I just stand there and swim. I'm gonna do, but just it's something about being in that ocean, man. It's something.
What about you, Tiva? Tiva, you out there in California? I know you can't be too far from it. You get in that water.
Oh no, we got beaches all up and through California. So yeah, I was gonna hit the beach this weekend. I can't go out of town yet, but I will hit a beach locally.
We're gonna kill that stereotype, right? You get in that water. We do swim and we get in that water.
Exactly. But like,
Sharon will be in Myrtle Beach soon.
I sure will.
Getting in the water, ain't you?
Gotta get in there.
Go. See? Now, only one left is Rico. Do you get in the water, brother?
Man, I used to get in that water, man, but I don't like it.
Wow, you scared of the shark?
I get in the swimming pool. I ain't getting in the ocean. I don't like all that nasty water. I ain't gonna lie. It looked good. Hey, I like the pictures you took. You took some Coast Guard pictures.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like the pictures, but I like the beach, but I ain't getting in that water, man.
Man,
first thing I'm gonna do.
Yep, I love it, man. Look here. I'm gonna tell you something. I love it so much. I'll walk to Hawaii if I could. That'll sneak in later, but yes, sir. But listen, I wanna post this one more time, and this got me right here. That got me right there. I knew a couple that wouldn't miss a funeral.
You can't even say it.
I mean, I knew the first time I couldn't read through it without laughing, man. wife is blind. Look at the wife is blind and always wanted the program. Now, what is a blind woman gonna do with a program? I need to understand. Somebody help me. But listen, it is now 7:14 time. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Only One Truth to be a part of your evening. It is now 7:14. You're about to exit Only One Truth, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing to do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now, take this opportunity, if you don't mind, go out there, find somebody, and give them some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Y'all have a great evening. Love you.